All right, in this video I want to go through different parts of a bike. Not that you need to know the parts of the bike for a test situation, but it is good to start being familiar with the bike frame so we can talk about different parts of the frame, the drag force, why frames are designed the way they are. All right, so this is a typical road bike. It's a road bike because has these types of handlebars on it, and the geometry of the frame in terms of how the different angles are on this frame make this classified as a road bike. That's going to be a little different. That's a tri-bike, time trial bike, has a different set of handlebars, and the angle of the seat relative to the ground is going to be steeper. So we'll talk about that. All right, so parts of the bike on the parts of the frame. This is the top tube. This is the down tube. This is the seat tube. These are the seat stays, these thinner bars. These are the chain stays. This is the seat post. This is the head tube. This is the fork. The handlebars, obviously. This is the crank. This is the pedal, obviously. This whole thing, including this part and all this part, is the drivetrain. These are the front gears, the big ring, the small ring. This is the front derailleur. That changes the chain from the big ring to the small ring in the front. This is the rear derailleur. It changes the chain on the rear gears. These are cogs. The size of the cogs is based upon the number of teeth, and we'll go through that in more detail. And again, this whole thing, including the rear gears here, the rear derailleur, this is the rear derailleur, the chain, the big ring, the small ring, the front derailleur, the cranks. This whole thing is the drive train, which makes the bike go. Obviously the wheel. This is obviously the tire. The rigid part is the wheel, the spokes. This is the rear hub. This is the front hub. These brakes are rim brakes, caliper style brakes. They're rim brakes because the brakes are touching on the rim. And let's see, those are all the major parts. Now all the other bikes all have the same names for the parts, but some of the shapes are different. So you see this down tube is shaped differently on this time trial bike versus the road bike, which is round. Okay, trying to reduce drag force. The seat tube is shaped differently in order to ultimately drive what's called a steeper angle between the seat and the ground. So you can get the seat moved forward relative to the train down here. The fork's shaped differently as well. The handlebars are different than a road bike. These are the extensions, these are the drops, these are the armrests. So a little different shape here for a time trial frame. And then even if we go over to another frame, what's different on this one? No seat tube. Different shape for the down tube. This is technically the top tube, but in this type of bike where there's no seat tube, we call this a beam. All right, so this is a beam bike. Now, I really don't like putting my frame in the bike stand like this, but what I'd rather do is clamp onto the seat post versus the beam, but this is the type of stand I have right now. Everything else is the same. The chain stays, but you see the shape is a little different. Looks like we got to do a little cleaning here. And this bike has what's called disc brakes. These brakes are similar to what you find in your car, and you notice they're different than if it was a rim brake. The brake would be up near the top. Different type of performance for a disc brake versus a rim brake. And let's see, I think that's all the parts of a bike that I want to go through on this video. Okay, thanks.